Hi, I'm Farron Pratt, president of First Dakota National Bank in Vermillion. It's just about game time, so grab some snacks, find your seat, and get ready to cheer on the Tanagers to a victory along with First Dakota. And after the game, when you've had a chance to catch your breath, come on down to First Dakota National Bank and chat with us about how we can win your business too. We've got a pretty impressive team, if I do say so myself. But for now, it's game time. Let's go Tanagers!
Welcome back, and we are talking Vermillion Tanager basketball. Good afternoon. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. That's right, Katie Crossway Lewedag, the Washington Warriors legend. She loves when I say that, don't you?
No, not really.
Why not?
No legend here, but
yeah,
it's okay.
You're a legend. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
So, all right. I've seen the Argus Leader clips. You know, we've seen the clippings. So nobody gets in the Argus Leader that's not a legend.
Oh, is that?
That's kind of the barometer. Okay. That's the baseline.
Good
all right. Well, we are at the DAK XII NEC Clash. As right now, this is game number 1 of 12. There are 6 games here in this, or 5 games, I apologize, in this main gym. This right now on your screen is Lennox and Aberdeen Roncalli, if you're watching on Vermillion streaming on YouTube. And so I did have the intro up, but we can take the intro down so people can watch the game. I'll keep you updated on the score as we go. So it's Lennox versus Aberdeen Roncalli. Lennox leads 37-25. With 5:04 to go in the third quarter. Next up will be Vermillion versus Sturgis. Now, Sturgis, obviously they're not an NEC school. They are out west, but they were part of this. They got part of this as Britton Heckla. You'll hear from Coach Drake, decided not to participate. And so Vermillion plays Sturgis, and it's just a little interesting because Sturgis is 4-6. So you might say, well, who knows how good they are? But they're AA, and they've played some pretty good schools. They've played pretty well, and it's a tough challenge for Vermillion, who's really looking for some seed point advantages. And what's tough is there is no seed point bonus or bump for playing a class up. So Vermillion's playing a Class AA team as they're trying to secure positioning in both the region and in the DAK 16 when they, knock on wood, get there. Then following Vermillion and Sturgis, it's Dakota Valley and Dual, and Vermillion will be playing Dakota Valley here coming up. And then West Central versus Hamlin, and then Sioux Falls Christian versus Clark Willow Lakes. So some good matchups coming up here in the main gym. Over in the auxiliary gym, Canton is playing Redfield right now. Then Tri-Valley versus Sisseton. That should be starting shortly. Elk Point Jefferson versus Millbank, Madison versus Webster area, and then Del Rapids versus Groton area. That should be a surprisingly good matchup. That 5 o'clock matchup in the auxiliary gym of Del Rapids versus Groton area, those are both the 6th seeds in their respective conferences. Del Rapids, we just saw them against Vermillion the other night. They're a good team. And then Groton area, they've been a solid team this year as well. So after this, we do go to Huron. We'll pack up and we'll head to Huron to cover the girls. Are you guys excited for the road trip?
It is going to be a good long day.
It's going to be a fun time. We'll be in the Huron Arena. From here on in, we'll be at the Huron Inn, or Arena, you know. But the Huron Inn, that was their tagline there for a long time. It stuck with me. I don't even know, is there still a Huron Inn?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay. Well, we'll have to look that up, I think. All right, so 37-25, 4:04 to go here in the Aberdeen Roncalli Lennox game. That will be out of bounds off of Aberdeen Roncalli. That'll go over to Lennox. So, again, Vermillion trying to secure their seed point positioning. Let's take a look at the seed points right now in the state of South Dakota in Class A. So Vermillion boys, they are tied for 12th. They're just ahead of Pine Ridge, who they defeated. And so let's take a look. Sioux Falls Christian. So Sioux Falls Christian is on top at 12-0 on the season. Rapid City Christian in second at 11-2. With 45.5 seed points, almost a full 2 points average behind Christian. West Central's in third at 45.077. They're 11-2. Vermillion fell to them, and again, Vermillion's season would probably be reflected upon entirely differently right now if Vermillion had been able to pull out that victory over West Central. Unfortunately, they outplayed West Central for about 28 minutes, but the final 4 minutes really just kind of went West Central's way. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong for Vermillion. Everything that could go right did go right for West Central. Then you have Clark Willow Lake, part of this DAC XII NEC Clash. They're taking on Sioux Falls Christian tonight. And then Hamlin, they're taking on West Central. So 4 of the top 5 seeds in Class A are facing each other tonight here in the main gym. Then St. Thomas More is in 6th, followed by Custer, Cheyenne Eagle Butte, Dual, and Dual is in that matchup against Dakota Valley, Stanley County, and then Dakota Valley in 11th. Lennox, things have changed since I looked last. So Lennox, then it's Pine Ridge in 13th, Winter in 14th, Hill City in 15th, and Vermillion in 16th. So Vermillion's in 16th right now. So if all 16 of the SODAC 16 teams made it, of the top 16 teams made it to the SODAC 16, Vermillion would be on the road. Except one thing you have to keep in mind is Vermillion's region has Sioux Falls Christian, it has Lennox, it has Dakota Valley, and it has Vermillion. So at least two of the 4 teams in the top 16 will not be making it to the SODAC 16, as Vermillion, Sioux Falls Christian, Lennox, and Dakota Valley have to eventually go through each other to get to the final 2 of the region. So that will be interesting. Vermillion, though, that 42.846, if they can get a win today over the Sturgis Scoopers, they'll get 44 seed points. That would definitely elevate them just a little bit, and it should be enough to get them over Winter and Hill City, and maybe even Pine Ridge. And so that is something Vermillion's fighting for. But that's why you wish you had that little bump or bonus for playing a class up. Do you think there should be a bonus or a benefit to playing like a double-A school if you're a Class A school?
Yeah, I think it'd be nice, especially if you can prove that you're hanging with that upper class and you could beat somebody. I think it would be nice to get a little bump. Because,
what's unfortunate is Vermillion played Yankton, and Yankton's struggling in Class AA. But they're a good team, and they've played close. And just like last night, they took Brandon Valley, the second-ranked team, to overtime. But unfortunately, that win for Vermillion on the road at a AA school actually hurts their seed point standings because they only got 41 seed points for that. It actually lowers their average, where if you maybe got a 2-point bump for playing a class above or a 2-point punishment for playing a class below, and maybe there shouldn't be a punishment for playing a class below, but there should be a benefit for playing a class above. So this will be Vermillion's second AA school that they've played. And really, between the two, they'll get no benefit even if they win both of them. And that, it just doesn't ring right when somebody could play 2 Class AA schools and another school could play 2 Class B schools with the same record, and they're going to get the same seed points for wins.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is. It is. And so right now, 41-25 with a minute 42 to go in the third. Now 42-25. It does look like Lennox has this not necessarily in hand, but a pretty significant lead, as it's Lennox and Aberdeen Roncalli here. As this is part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. Now Lennox going right to left, and that ball will be out of bounds. Of course, Lennox in the white uniforms with orange and letters and numbers with black trim. Aberdeen Roncalli in the black uniforms with kind of that yellowish gold and then green. So kind of a yellow numbers and green letters with inverse trim. So here is Aberdeen Roncalli moving the ball left to right. There's a steal.
Mickelson will jump the gap. We'll get it underneath to Cole Speiler.
So Drake Mickelson with the steal over to Tate Gertis. There's a 3-point attempt, no good for Boston Katzer. Rebound there by Aberdeen Roncalli. Pass ahead, reverse layup, no good. Rebound into the hands of Tate Gertis as Lennox pushes it up. Kicks it out to Cole Spieler. And here's Lennox for 3. That is short. And rebound to Aberdeen Roncalli's Parker Gribben. Gribben, 6'7" senior on this Aberdeen Roncalli team. And they're going to call a foul there on Tate Gertis. So with 29 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Lennox leads Aberdeen Roncalli by a score of 42-25. Like I said, we will have Vermillion basketball coming up right after this as they will be taking on the Sturgis Scoopers. Well, I tell you what, let's take a look at the most recent South Dakota Prep media poll. In boys action, Class AA basketball. Well, some of this is now going to be old news because we had some action last night that changed a few things. But as of Monday, Lennox was the top team in Class AA with 20 first-place votes. They were 9-0, and they've been in first most of, if not all of, this season. But last night, Lennox was defeated by Mitchell, 69-58, so that will change. All right, so that is the end of the third quarter. We're going to just kind of keep going through the polls here. Brandon Valley, they were 9-1 on Monday. They did defeat Yankton last night in overtime, 57-51, as Yankton had a lead of 30-19 at halftime, but Brandon Valley was able to chip away. Yankton came back after following an 8-point deficit with a few minutes remaining to tie it up, but Yankton could not hold on in overtime, so Brandon Valley does come away victorious. We'll see how those polls change. I expect Lincoln to still be on top, even despite that loss, but Brandon Valley will get a number of first-place votes. And then Harrisburg, at 8-2 on Monday, they were in third. Well, they defeated Pierce 66-48, so Harrisburg is now 10-2 on the season. Mitchell, they're probably going to move up a little bit. They're 8-2. They were 8-2. They defeated Sioux Falls Lincoln. They're now 10-2 on the season. But I'm not sure who you move down. I don't know that anyone thinks Mitchell is necessarily better than Lennox. If you play 10 times, I think Lincoln wins, 7 or 8 at least. And then Sioux Falls Washington was in fifth after receiving votes the week before. And Sioux Falls Washington, let's see here. They played on Thursday. They defeated Aberdeen Central 54-40. They're now 7-4 on the season, so they won one and lost one this week. Also receiving votes last week, O'Gorman, Huron, and Spearfish. In Class A, it's Sioux Falls Christian on top. They were with 20 first-place votes. They'll be playing later today here. They're undefeated on the season. And then Hamlin in second, followed by Rapid City Christian, West Central, Clark Willow Lake, and also receiving votes, Dakota Valley, Lennox, St. Thomas More, and Custer. And then in Class B, Viborg Hurley is on top with all 20 first-place votes, followed by Castlewood, and that is following that win by Viborg Hurley over Castlewood. And then in third, Del Rapids St. Mary. And then Wessington Springs and Leola Frederick area also receiving votes, Parkston and Howard. So that's a look at your boys polls this week from the South Dakota Prep Media Poll. But like I said, things will change at least in Class AA. In Class B, Viborg Hurley, like I said, there's 13-1. Castlewood's 13-2 now. Del Rapids St. Mary is 13-1. Parkston is now 11-2. Might be interesting to see if they get some more votes. But Wessington Springs, they're 10-1. And Leola Frederick area is 13-1. And then Howard is 10-3. So I don't expect too much change in that Class B poll. Class A, like I said, Sioux Falls Christian, Hamlin, Rapid City Christian, West Central, Clark Willow Lake, they've all kept winning. So I think those will stay as well as Dakota Valley, Lennox, St. Thomas More, and Custer. So right now it's 43-31 as Aberdeen Roncalli starts chipping away at that Lennox lead with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Lennox looking to try to get an offensive set here, and there's another steal. Knocked out of bounds, though, by Aberdeen Roncalli. So that possession will stay with Lennox with 24 seconds on the shot clock. And we can take a look at the girls' polls as we'll be covering Tanager girls later today. In Class AA, O'Gorman on top with 20 first-place votes. Brandon Valley in second at 10-1. Sioux Falls, Washington, 8-1. Mitchell at 8-2, and then Rapid City Stevens at 10-2. Also receiving votes, Aberdeen Central. And then in Class A, Sioux Falls Christian remains on top with 18 first-place votes. Makpia Luta in second. Dakota Valley in third. And we'll see if that changes at all, as just the other day, just double-checking here, Sioux Falls Christian did defeat Dakota Valley by a pretty significant margin, not a romp at all, but Dakota Valley did have their first loss. They're still in second via seed points, strictly because their loss was to Sioux Falls Christian, so you get a significant number after that. But that loss to Sioux Falls Christian was by a score of 60-48. And then you have elsewhere for the girls in Class A, Hamlin in fourth and EPJ in fifth. Receiving votes, Mobridge, Pollock, Vermillion, and Sioux Valley. Now, Vermillion did come away with a victory at versus Del Rapids on Thursday. And so we'll see how they do tonight against Parkston. That should be a good matchup. Parkston, as you know, is second in Class B. Centerville on top, though, with 21st place votes. Ethan in third at 9-2, Lyman in fourth at 9-2, and Harding County in fifth at 10-0. Also receiving votes in Class B girls, Del Rapids St. Mary and Sanborn Central Woonsocket. So that's a look around the state of South Dakota's prep media poll. We're going to have a pregame show, the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. We will have interviews with both Jay Drake and Dan Skinner of Vermillion and Sturgis. But right here, Lennox leads Aberdeen Roncalli by a score of 45-31 with 5:17 to go. So going to the line to shoot. So going to the line to shoot two will be Leighton Smith for Lennox. As they do a kind of an old hockey line change. Checking in for Lennox is Boston Katzer. Checking out is Drake Mickelson. At the line is Leighton Smith. 45-31. Leighton Smith's second free throw is up, and that will roll off the front of the rim. Rebound there by Cam Olson, the 6'7 senior. As Aberdeen Roncalli down 14 with 5 minutes to go, looking to try to get back into this game. As they get it down low on the block. And here is Bryson Olson. Kicks it out to Aiden Fisher. Fisher for three, and he hits it. That lead is now down to 11. So if you're an Aberdeen Roncalli fan, the lead is down to, the deficit's down to 11. If you're a Lennox fan, that lead is down to 11. Here's Leighton Smith in the paint, kicks it out. And here's Aiden Hansen. Hansen was hot in that game against Vermillion. We'll see if he has anything here. And they feed it down below to Tegan Musser. Up, and he is going to be fouled by number 50, Cam Olson.
And Tegan Musser will go to the free throw line with two. Cavaliers just here. And Tegan Musser.
So 4:36 to go, 45-34. Tegan Musser to the line to shoot two for Lennox. First free throw is up and good, rolls in, makes it 46-34. So again, the Vermillion Tanagers will be playing the Sturgis Scoopers following this game. Musser, second free throw is up and good. Puts that lead back to 47-34. Here comes Aiden Fisher, the 5'10 senior guard for Aberdeen Roncalli. Drives in, scoops it up and in. Nice play there by Fisher. And a timeout taken by Coach Dan Gallagher of Aberdeen Roncalli. We'll take a timeout as well. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. This is all part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame, tailgates, and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Well, this is the first game of the day. Lennox leads Aberdeen Roncalli 47-36 with 4:25 to go. Vermillion and Sturgis will be the game right after this. And here is Tate Gertis driving in, up with the left hand, and no good. Rebound there by Aberdeen Roncalli as they look to try to get it down to a single-digit deficit. As Sam Franks gets it over to Aiden Fisher. Fisher guarded there by Gertis. Fisher kicks it out, and they're going to drive baseline up and in. Easy two for Bryson Olson. All of a sudden, that is a 9-point lead for Aberdeen Roncalli. Lennox gets it out to Leighton Smith. Gertis over to Katzer. Katzer back to Leighton Smith. Hansen drives in. That is going to be out of bounds off of Aberdeen Roncalli on the block. Checking in is Brody Weinmeister. Checking out is Bryson Olson. Weinmeister is a 6'1 senior. So here's Leighton Smith now. There's a floater for Aiden Hansen. So drops that back to an 11-point lead. As here's Sam Franks. Gets up top to... So Hansen up 4-3. That cuts it down to an 8-point lead now with 3:05 to go. So what was as high as 17 is now down to an 8-point difference. And that ball is going to be out of bounds off of Lennox. Aberdeen Roncalli going back the other way. 2:59 to go with an 8-point deficit. So if you're...
Hansen tried to redirect himself, but got a hand on the ball, but couldn't collect it in.
So 2:55 to go, 49-41.
Plenty of time to go. 2:50 time to play in the fourth quarter.
So Aberdeen Roncalli with Aiden Fisher. Aiden Fisher gets the ball over to Brody Weinmeister. Weinmeister at the elbow, drives in, kicks it out. 3-point attempt. Nothing but net for Sam Franks. All of a sudden, that is a 5-point deficit with 2.5 minutes to go. So Katzer gets the ball over to Tegan Musser. 2:20 to go. Baseline move for Katzer. He's going to be fouled, but he will not get the shot to drop. So Cam Olson fouls out with 2:17 to go. Checking in for Aberdeen Roncalli, Will Parker Greben. Greben, a 6'7 senior. So Katzer goes the line to shoot two.
For Lennox, Orioles leading 49-44 on the Easy Stop scoreboard.
First free throw is up and good.
So the Cavaliers again have trailed by as many as 16 here in the second half. Lennox gets 1 point back to the advantage, and the second free throw from Katzer is...
That one rolls out, so a 6-point lead for Lennox as Aberdeen Roncalli brings the ball up. It's Brody Weinmeister on the left-hand side. Drives in, lays it up, and in. 2:07 to go, down to a 4-point lead for Lennox, and that's going to be a timeout taken by Lennox. Lennox taking a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. We'll be right back as from our messages with our Vermillion sportscasters.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. This is the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show as we bring you Lennox and Aberdeen Roncalli, as Lennox had a 17-point lead at one point during the third quarter. That lead is now down to 4 with 1:43 to go, and that is going to be, they are going to call a defensive foul on Aiden Fisher. Coach Dan Gallagher of Aberdeen Roncalli does not agree. So Tate Gertis will go to the line to shoot 2. So first free throw is up and good, makes it a 5-point difference with 1:41 to go. And second free throw up and good. So that is a 6-point deficit now, as Aiden Fisher brings the ball up for Aberdeen Roncalli, as they hit a cutting Hernandez. Long three for Hernandez, no good. Rebound there by Lennox. Boston Katzer gets the rebound. 1:21 to go. It's a 2-possession game. Lennox would love to try to help seal it with a score here. And here's Gertis from the right-hand side. Drives in now from the top of the key. Kicks it out to Boston Katzer. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Expect Lennox to use a lot of this clock. And they're going to call a foul there on Brody Weinmeister. That is the 5-team fouls, so Tegan Musser will go to the line to shoot 2. Musser is 4 of 4 from the line here this afternoon. First free throw is up and good, makes that a 7-point lead for Lennox. That makes it a 3-possession game. And that makes it that much tougher for Aberdeen Roncalli, who's valiantly fought back from that 17-point deficit in the third quarter to cut it down to now 7. They got it down to as little as 4. It's now up to 8. So here's Aberdeen Roncalli. Aiden Fisher bringing the ball up. Guarded there by Aiden Hansen. Franks drives in, and he's going to get a foul. Fouled by Tate Gertis, the 6'3 junior guard for Lennox. That'll be on the shot with 53.8 seconds to go, so 2 free throws. So Frank's first free throw is up and good. Cuts it down to 7.
7 in the quarter, 9 here on the afternoon. 54-47 the Lennox lead.
Frank's second free throw is up and off the back iron. And rebound to Lennox. So still a 3-possession game. So that will be a foul. And that will start the free throw game as we go. So Tate Gertis will go to the line to shoot 2 for Lennox. Again, this is all part of the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. This is Aberdeen Roncalli versus Lennox, and then we'll have the coaches' interviews with Dan Skinner and Jay Drake of the Vermillion Tanagers and Dan Skinner of the Sturgis Scoopers. And that first free throw is up and good by Tate Gertis. Again, Tanager Basketball is brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. First Dakota National Bank serving their customers for over 150 years. Second free throw is good, gives them a 9-point lead, so it's 3 possessions of 3-pointers. Aberdeen Roncalli, that chance slowly slipping away, but here's Sam Franks, sorry. Hernandez gets it over to Fisher. Fisher drives in, kicks it out, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Fisher. And Fisher, the 5'10 senior guard, disagrees. 32.6 seconds, so it does look like Lennox will come out victorious over Aberdeen Roncalli. And there's going to be another foul. So Sam Franks commits the foul, and Hansen will go to the line. Aiden Hansen go to the line to shoot 2. So 31.5 seconds to go.
Orioles have converted from the foul line to build this lead back to 9.
And the first free throw by Hansen is short. And Lennox, well, they're going to move to 9-4 on the season. Aberdeen Roncalli will fall to 6-7. That second free throw does drop in.
Mathematically, it's pretty tough to do here. Aiden Fisher will rush it up the floor and will launch a three. This one.
So for Lennox, they're going to get 44 seed points, so it won't change their seed point average too much. And that will be it as the clock will roll down, and we're going to take a quick timeout. And when we come back, we'll start having our interviews with Coach Dan Skinner and Jay Drake as we get ready to bring you the Vermillion Tanagers and the Sturgis Scoopers. Lennox Orioles win by 10, 57-47. We'll be back with our Carlson's Body Shop pregame show right after these messages from our Vermillion Sportscasters.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion. Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete, and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
You know, busy weekend for us. We got a big matchup tonight against Mapalutu tonight. So, preparing for that, taking off after that game and heading east.
And, and it's an interesting way that came around about. You guys are like honorary members of the NEC, I guess, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. The Northeastern Conference couldn't be further away from Sturgis, South Dakota. But what an opportunity for us. We only had 19 games on our schedule. We had a tough time filling that 20th game. And so when they came calling, we jumped at the opportunity, and we couldn't be more excited.
Well, and you guys, it's going to be an interesting matchup. You guys get to take on the Vermillion Tanagers, a Tanagers team that's playing really well, made an appearance in the state tournament last year in Class A. Out, and they were in your neck of the woods last year. So, and you guys have had a pretty solid season. You've had some ups and downs, but you've beaten some pretty good teams, and you've lost to some pretty good teams. How do you feel at this point in the season for your squad?
Oh, yeah, just like you said, been some ups and downs. Played a really good Custer team, opened up. We had a big lead against them. I think it was like 8 or 9 points going into half, and then they came out and got really hot and kind of took it to us there in the second half. We rebounded well against Pierre and Aberdeen teams, some Class AA teams. And anytime you go against teams like that, it's always tough. Had a rough game against Central, came back against Stevens and played them really tight. Stevens and Central both solid squads. The Douglas and the STM game were tough ones for us as well, but then the last two we've kind of bounced back against Lee Deadwood and Hill City and played some really, really good quality games there. Just like always, you're going to have your ups and downs throughout the season, and you got to be able to manage that storm and roll with the punches, and it's always about the next game on the schedule. So that's our focus.
All right. Now, as your team has gone through the season, obviously people work with different rotations. How deep do you go on your bench, and who are some of the players that you rely on as a coach, maybe to be the coach on the court, whether it's statistically or just inspirationally for you?
Sure. Yeah. We've got a deep senior class. We've got 10 seniors on our varsity roster, so we're comfortable playing 10, 11 guys. It just kind of depends on the matchups. We got bigger guys. We got guys coming off the bench like Noah Schaefer's and Max Vleen. If we've got a smaller lineups, we got guys coming off the bench like Ty Ferguson and Ty Petracco. In our starting lineups, we really rely on Hayden Rock and Ryan Heinert for the majority of our scoring load. Tegan Wormstead can get it going, but he's more of a two-way player for us. Jackson Kano definitely brings the energy on the defensive end, and then Dalen DeShock is kind of our anchor inside. So we've got a deep team, a lot of guys that can play. Just kind of depends on the matchups and depends on how things are going and who's hitting shots and who's feeling confident for us.
All right, and it's kind of been obviously a last-minute thing, and you have this matchup with Makpealuta, so you don't, obviously scouting is always interesting. Have you had a chance to look at this Tanager team, and if so, what are things that they bring to the table that A, might be opportunities for you, and B, might be challenges?
Sure. I'd be lying to you if I said that, I was super prepared going into this Vermillion game. We're focused on our matchup tonight, and when we get onto the road, we're going to watch the Vermillion Tanagers. Like you said, they played in the state tournament out in Rapid City last year, so I got a chance to watch them. I'm actually from West Central myself. I graduated there in 2016. I played against Coach Drake a couple times back in my high school days, so kind of remember some things from back then. I know they got a couple studs. Not sure, can't quite remember the names, but the numbers 33 and 24 stood out when I watched a little game tape. Big, physical, athletic, can score from three levels, and then they get after you on the defensive end. We know they're going to be well coached. We know they're going to be battle tested, playing in the DAK XII conference. That's a tough conference, night in, night out. They've played against some quality teams. But we just got to go in and play our brand of basketball and let everything take care of itself.
All right. Well, Coach, I'm looking forward to seeing your team in action. I've always loved Sturgis, and so just excited to see you guys. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. Really appreciate it. I know you have a busy schedule, but always appreciate the coaches taking the time. So it's an underrated part of your guys' job is having to deal with media like me. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, I really appreciate it. You guys do a great job of bringing some attention to the boys and get people excited for the game. So it's my pleasure. Happy to do it. Thank you for having me.
Hey, and best of luck tonight against Makpealuta, and travel safely across the state, okay?
Will do. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye.
That was Coach Dan Skinner of the Sturgis Brown Scoopers. You know what? You know who's also a Sturgis Brown Scooper alum? Eve Holly. Eve is part of our broadcast crew. She runs board for USD games, steps in for camera work whenever we need her. She is doing some USD games on Saturday, so she's not on camera, but she's back at the station running board. So Sturgis Brown Scoopers against the Vermillion Tanagers coming up. We'll have Coach Jay Drake as we bring you the Tanagers and the Scoopers as part of the DAK XII NEC Clash. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie Lewedag and Reigen Lewedag. This is ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality healthcare, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Welcome back to our Coaches Conversation on Breakfast with the Coaches. We have Coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion Tanagers with us. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing good, thanks.
Well, you guys have had a busy week, and you have a busy weekend coming up and a busy week next week. Let's just kind of recap. You had Crow Creek on Tuesday and Dell Rapids on Thursday. Kind of two very different games. Crow Creek, you guys were able to pull your starters after just a kind of one possession of the third quarter, and then Dell Rapids went the limit. Just kind of talk about the tale of the two games there.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, and it probably helped on Tuesday night to have that game go the way it did, and we kind of talked about it on Tuesday about getting some other guys in, number one, but just getting some of our guys that play a lot of minutes, getting them rests, and they only played about 15, 16 minutes in that game, so you're trying to keep your legs as best you can, especially this time of year, and anytime you're playing 3 games in a matter of 5 days, and we talked about that stretch right after Christmas break. I think we came out of the break and played 4 games in 7 days, and now we're in a stretch where we got 4 in 8 days with 3 this week, but then you add Beersford on Tuesday. So a good start to the week. Shot the ball really well against Crow Creek. I think we're 12 of 25 from 3, and we've had stretches like that at times this year. And then kind of like you said, the Dell Rapids game, I think we were 3 of 19 from the 3-point line. We saw a lot of 2-3 zone. The nice part of that, I guess, is I think all 3 makes came in the fourth quarter and were at timely moments and stuff. So but it makes it look a lot better when the basketball goes through the hoops. So we found a way. We've said this earlier in the year. It's always we tell our team all the time, good teams find ways to win games different ways and stuff. And we've done it at times, getting up and down and shooting well and stuff. But a game like Thursday night with Dell Rapids was a typical DAC 12 game. We've had battles with them over the years and kind of grinding it out. And we found a way to make some plays down the stretch and pull it out in the end.
All right, well, those are the first 2 of a 3-game week. You guys take on an interesting opponent in Sturgis. Not Britton Heckla, who it was kind of supposed to be, taking on a AA team in the form of the Sturgis Scoopers. Just kind of talk a little bit about how that came about and how you guys move forward with this matchup.
Yeah, the truth on it is I'm not sure yet either. So a crazy deal. Obviously, in years past with this NEC DAC 12 clash, we've had situations where maybe one of the NEC teams can't play in it, so they kind of, Chamberlain one year. We actually were in this situation last year. Parkston was the team that filled in. This year, though, it's supposed to be all NEC teams, and that was our understanding even up till last Sunday when they do the matchups. And it sounds like Britton Heckla just backed out of it or wasn't going to play or didn't plan on playing, but nobody knew about it. And I think the ADs in our DAC 12 conference were kind of scrambling just to find anyone, because if not, there's going to be a team that doesn't have a game. And they end up finding Sturgis. Usually in years past, they've just slotted them in where they are in a seating standpoint, which, again, they didn't do this time around. I haven't really had any clarification exactly why they got matched up with us, but obviously it's a huge deal for us just from a PowerPoint standpoint. Could have some ramifications at the end of the year, but more importantly, we've had some success in this clash in the past, not just us, but our conference as a whole. And this isn't a typical NEC team. If this was the number one, it's a AA opponent. I think there's a lot of similarities just looking on film between them and Yankton, who we saw earlier this year. They're a physical team; they can score points, and then you just look at they played other AA teams very tough and won a couple of those. I think they beat Pierre and Aberdeen Central, and we're gonna have our hands full. And anytime it's a 1:15 game in the afternoon, you just never know. Obviously, we tell our guys all the time it doesn't matter when or where you play, you got to be ready to go. But as a coaching staff, it's always a concern when you have a different time. And usually in games like this, one team probably handles it a little bit better than the other team, and it ends up maybe being the difference in the game. So we'll have our hands full. We're going to have to play very well, but like anything, that's what we expect. And it's one of those games that's probably going to be a grind and similar situation as Thursday night where you're in a basketball game in the fourth quarter and you got to try to get some stops and make some plays down the stretch.
Well, and coming off that victory over Dell Rapids, you guys are have improved your seed point standings where you kind of control, at least in the region, with your game against Dakota Valley, control a lot of your destiny. How valuable is that to really say, if we just keep winning, things will take care of themselves as far as seed point standings?
Yeah, it's kind of our mindset and the approach, and really it sounds cliche, just, the one game at a time, but it's kind of like I told you after the Dell Rapids game the other night, is we are in a situation where it's going to be very close at the end of the year, and, we just got to try to do our part, and just trying to check games off. And every time we win one, obviously it's going to make the next one that much bigger for us. If we were to drop one or two of these, then we're going to put ourselves in a really tough situation from a seeding standpoint. So that's why it was really important the other night against Del Rapids to pull that out in the end. Kind of lets us hold serve and do our part. And now, the big thing is it makes this Sturgis game that much bigger for us. And like we told our crew, you try to go get this one, and if we can, then obviously to make the Beersford game a huge one for us.
Well, and like you said, talk about Beersford, you have Groton area, a lot of teams with winning records coming up, and the winning record is important because that's when you can start maximizing seed points. And part of that is winning, and over the last couple of games, obviously the Crow Creek game is hard to quantify just because starters only played for a half, but it feels like Trey Hansen, I'm not sure if he's turned a corner, flipped a switch, but he really seems to be playing very controlled and very within himself, and we're seeing kind of what we saw last year out of Trey. Is that something that you've noticed?
Yeah, and the big thing, I think every game and every night's just a little bit different in what you're taking as a team and as an individual and stuff. And the nice thing for him, obviously, is his biggest games have been games we've needed, right? I think he had 36 earlier in the year in the West Central game, and obviously it didn't come out the way we wanted, but it kept us in the basketball game, and at 34 last week against Christian, same thing, and we're hanging around with them. And the other night against Del Rapids, I think he finished with 31, and again, did it efficiently, and we needed it. We were able to kind of put him in the middle of the zone after that first quarter, and I thought he did some positive things, and there's no doubt that I think any opponent we're playing, their mindset defensively and game plan is going to be to kind of try to shut him down first and kind of go from there. But we've had other guys step up at times, but the bigger the game, it seems like he's played well this year, and he's done that in the past, and hopefully that continues.
All right, well, Coach, it's a big one against Sturgis, and like you said, a double-A opponent, so best of luck against the Scoopers, and best of luck the rest of this week.
All right, thanks a lot, Michael.
Hey, thanks so much. Have a great one.
Yep, you too.
Thanks. Bye. That was Coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion Tanagers with us here on Breakfast with the Coaches as we get ready to bring you Vermillion Tanagers and Sturgis Scoopers this afternoon, and that'll be on ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube. We'll be back with more after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters.
Welcome back to Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie Crossway and Reigen as we are bringing you some Tanager basketball. This was the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show as we get ready for the starting lineup. Starting lineups brought to you by Central Farmers Cooperative. All right, the Vermillion Tanagers come in to this game at 10-3. So the Sturgis Scoopers will be the visitors on the scoreboard. Vermillion will be the home team. Vermillion comes in at 10-3. Sturgis comes in at 4-6. Now again, just a reminder, Sturgis is a Class AA school, whereas Vermillion, they are a Class A school. So starting lineups for Sturgis, brought to you by, again, Central Farmers Cooperative. Number 0. 6'1" senior guard Tegan Wormstad, averaging 4.5 points and 3 rebounds a game. Number 3, Jackson Kano, a 5'11" junior forward, 3.7 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.2 steals. Number 4, Hayden Rock, a 5'10" junior guard, averaging 16.6 points, 1.6 assists, and 1.4 rebounds. Number 14, Dalen Deshock, a 6'3" senior forward, averaging 3.7 points per game. And number 24, 6'3" senior forward Ryan Heinert, averaging 12.5 points per game and 5.9 rebounds. So it's Wormstad, Kano, Rock, Deshock, and Heinert. And they are coached by Dan Skinner. Now your starting lineup brought to you by Central Farmers Cooperative for your Vermillion Tanagers. Starting at guard, Landon Cerny, a 6' senior, number 12, 6.8 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, an assist and a steal per game. Carter Hansen, 6'3" senior guard, number 24, averaging 12.7 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 2 steals. Number 30, Luke Jensen, a 6'5" sophomore, averaging 12.7 points and 4.2 rebounds. Number 32, Gabe Larson, a 6'1" junior guard, 5.6 points, 3.1 rebounds, an assist, and 1.3 steals. And Trey Hansen, number 33, a 6'4" junior guard, averaging 16.7 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 3.1 steals. So again, for Vermillion, Cerny, Hansen, Jensen, Larson, and Hansen rolling. And Vermillion will be in white uniforms with red letters and numbers with black trim. Sturgis in those black uniforms with red numbers and letters with white trim. They'll be moving right to left on Vermillion streaming. Vermillion moving left to right. Jumping for Vermillion, Carter Hansen. with Wormstadt jumping 4. Sturgis and Vermillion wins the toss, wins the jump. Landon Cerny at the top of the key. Gets it over to Luke Jensen for 3 off the back iron. Luke's been off just a little bit the last few games. He's looking to get his shooting stroke back. And here is Jackson Cano. As they get it up top here. Sturgis moving that ball around. And that is up and in for Ryan Heinert. Heinert, one of the captains on this team, hits a field goal, gives Sturgis the early 2-0 lead. Here's Trey Hansen down from the elbow, and he is going to be fouled on the floor. They're going to call that on number 14, Dalen DeShock. So that's DeShock's first. Here's Carter Hansen on the baseline. Long pass over to Jensen. Jensen saves it from going out of bounds. Gets it over to Cerny, who gets it over to Hansen. Hansen drives in. Up with the right hand, up and in. Trey Hansen picking up where he left off last Thursday against Del Rapids with a quick 2 points, tying it up at 2 with 6:41 to go in the first quarter. That is on the Masaba scoreboard. Again, Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. So Rock hands it off to Cano. Cano gets it out for 3, no good. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. Trey, who had a double-double last time out, drives in from the right. And that is going to be a foul on the shot. That's going to be on Ryan Heinert. That'll be Heinert's first personal. Second team, but Hansen will go to the line to shoot 2. Again, alongside Katie and Reagan, I'm Michael Schumacher. Hansen's first free throw is up and good. Now, Katie has asked me to mute her because she's a bit of a cougher today. She has a dry throat and she's hacking, and nobody needs to hear that. But we're going to unmute her every once in a while. Second free throw up and good for Trey. Makes it 4-2. Because she says she knows what's best. And I said, not always, and she disagreed. But we're going to have that conversation later. So Hayden Rock on the left-hand side, guarded by Cerny. Rock, spin move, gets it out to Heinert. Heinert gets it over to Rock. Rock drives in up at the right hand, and they're going to call a foul, and they're going to give him the shot. Wow. So Rock is fouled by Cerny. That's Landon's first personal. First team checking in for Sturgis will be number 12, Ty Petrocco, and number 5, Max Vleem. Vleem is a 6'7" senior on this squad. So Rock looking for the old-fashioned three-point play, and he is successful. Gives Sturgis the 5-4 lead. So here's Trey Hansen driving in on the left-hand side, scoops it up and in. So Trey has all 6 points for the Tanagers, makes it 6-5. And here comes Rock. Nice job by Carter with the steal. Goes up with the left hand from the left side and scores. That makes it 8-5 in favor of Vermillion. And Carter with another steal and a putback. So Carter with 2 steals in a matter of about 10 seconds and 2 scores. A quick 30-second timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Vermillion leads 10-5.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too. For future employment, no experience necessary, we will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball. Katie, say hi because you're not coughing.
Hello.
See, she is there. 5:30 to go in the first quarter. Vermillion leads 10-5. Trey Hansen has scored 6 points. Carter Hansen just scored 4 in a matter of about 10 seconds off 2 steals, creating his own basket. So nice job by Carter. As again, Sturgis is a AA school, 4-6 record. There's Rock for three, no good. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. Long outlet pass to Gabe Larson, who saves it, gets it back into Cerny, and that's going to be out of bounds off of Cerny. So, yeah, that just turnover there by Vermillion. Coach Drake not happy. I'm not quite sure that pass to Larson. I thought Larson did a nice job of saving it. I think he thought he was going to be going out of bounds if he didn't just kind of toss it back in, but it's a long outlet pass, but here's Heinert in up with the right hand, and that will roll in for Heinert. He now has 4 on the game. Makes it 10-7 in favor of Vermillion. Sturgis, a AA school, but there is no bonus or bump for playing a class up, so Vermillion, it's, you hate to say it, but they don't get a real good draw today because they play Sturgis like a regular 4-6 team, so they can only get the 44 seed points, which will help, but you wish there was something a little bit better that you could go with. And so that is a travel on Trey. And so 10-7 off that turnover. 4:33 to go in favor of Vermillion. Here in the first quarter. Heinert into the paint, up, and will get that in. Boy, they're allowing Heinert a lot of movement in there. Good player, Heinert averaging 12.4. Well, he already has 6. He's halfway to his season average. Here's Gabe Larson. Spencer Blanchette gets ready to check in. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. We'll see who they call it on. And that is on Tegan Wormstadt. Wormstadt now with his first, team's third. Blanchette comes in. Gabe Larson checks out. I didn't see who made that one. Carter Hansen made that one. I apologize. I was just checking something else. I was checking to see because Britton Heckla, turnaround jumper there, no good. Rebound into the hands of Carter Hansen. Spencer Blanchette kicks it out to Luke, over to Trey, over to Carter. Nice ball movement. Carter into the paint, up with the floater, and that will not fall. But into the hands of Cerny. Cerny for three, and he will drain it. Nice job by Landon Cerny. Nice job by Carter Hansen to tip that out to Landon. Britton Heckla would have been Vermillion's opponent, and here's the unfortunate thing. They have a winning record. They would have been eligible for more seed points if they'd been playing Britton Heckla with a victory, or either way, win or lose. Nice job by Luke Jensen on the block. So 15-9, Vermillion leads. Trey Hansen, long three. Oh, just a little bit short, but rebound Luke Jensen, turnaround jumper up, and no good. So here's Hayden Rock on the right-hand side. Heinert for a long three, leaves it short, but Rock gets the rebound in the paint, banks it in. Nice job by Rock. Long outlet pass to Blanchette. Wow, no foul called there. Here's Heinert into the paint. Up with the left hand, no good. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. Kind of a little sloppy the last 90 seconds of play, but Trey drives in, up with the right hand, and good. Trey now has 8 points on the day here in the first quarter with 2:12 to go. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank on ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube. Here's Hayden Rock in the left corner, guarded by Cerny. And nice steal by Jensen into the hands of Cerny, and boy, no jump ball called, no travel called, and so we're going to call that a steal. So here's Luke Jensen out by the three-point line in the lower right corner. And they are going to call a travel. Yeah, Luca just kind of got caught not knowing where he wanted to go. So coming in for Sturgis will be Dalen DeShock, as well as Carter Williams, a 6'4 senior. And Carson Preister checks in for Luke Jensen. So now out there on the court for Vermillion, Trey Hansen, Carter Hansen, Landon Cerny, nothing but net, Spencer Blanchette, and Carson Preister. So Hayden Rock bringing the ball up. Long three-point attempt, no good by DeShock. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. 4 rebounds already on the day. Trey didn't have numbers, so he pulls it back. Gets it down low to Preister. Preister on the block. Kicks it out to Cerny. Cerny will take the three, and he will drain it. That is what Cerny can do. 6 points in this first quarter for Landon Cerny. 20-11. Vermillion leads with 1:07 to go. Now less than a minute. Here's Rock down on the block. Hey, that rhymed. Rock for three. Nope. He drives in, spin at the elbow, up at the right hand, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Preister. Nope, that's on Cerny. That is his second. So we'll see if maybe Larson checks back in for Cerny with 2 fouls. Nope, they're going to leave. Yep, Larson's going to check in. First free throw for Rock, up and good. So Cerny checks out. Larson checks in. So Hayden Rock. Second free throw is up and good. Rock now has 7 points on the game. 20-13, Vermillion with a 7-point lead with 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Hansen loses the handle, gets it over to Carter. Carter will drive into the paint, kicks it off to a cutting Gabe Larson. Kicks it out to Preister. Preister, short little jumper, no good. Rebound by Preister, though. Preister gets it off to Jensen. Carter Hansen up and in. Nice job by Carter. Not quite a dunk, not quite a layup, but it still goes in, and that's what counts, right? I think that's the point, right? Okay.
Yes.
15 seconds to go. 22-13. Sturgis, Rock, drives in. Nice job by Carter to create a jump ball. Now, I think the jump ball, does that favor Sturgis, though? Yeah. This jump ball favors Sturgis, but that does mean Vermillion will begin the second quarter with possession. So Sturgis needs to inbound now, trailing by 9, 7.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jackson Cano gets it into Deshock. Here's Hayden Rock for three. No good. Nice job by Spencer Blanchette with the steal. And to not give them any second chance points. So that's the way the first quarter will end. 22-13 in favor of Vermillion on the Masaba scoreboard. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this on ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube. This is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance as we enter the second quarter. Vermillion leads 22-13 on the Masaba scoreboard and will begin with possession. Larson inbounds the ball to Trey Hansen. The Central Farmers Cooperative starting lineup for the second quarter: Trey Hansen, Carter Hansen, Landon Cerny, Luke Jensen, and Gabe Larson. Carter Hansen in the paint, gets it over to Luke Jensen, who will drive in. And he is going to be fouled on the shot by number 45, Noah Schaefers. So Sturgis playing a number of players here. That'll be Noah Schaefer's first personal. First team of the quarter as Luke Jensen goes to the line to shoot two. First free throw is up and off the back iron. So looking to give Vermillion their first double-digit lead of the game. And he does. So Luke Jensen now has 1 point. Gabe Larson, the only starter not to score, but you know what? I have a feeling he will. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet. Here's Ryan Heinert. Heinert up with the left hand, no good. Up with the hand again, and good. Boy, Heinert with 8 points now. Makes it 23-15, 8-point lead for the Tanagers. Trey Hansen off to Carter on the right-hand side. Over to Cerny. Trey will take that three and just leave it short. And the rebound to Schaefer's. Schaefer's 6'8", senior, big-bodied out there. And boy, nice job there by Jackson Cano to drive in, and Coach Drake wants to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take one as well. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads by 6, 23-17.
Slumberland Furniture in Yankton, the place to shop for your next new mattress. Find brands like Stearns & Foster, Nectar, and the hottest selling mattress, Purple, measured for your comfort and a dream-laden night's sleep. There's the new Adapt by Tempur-Pedic as well. Slumberland Furniture has Flex Steel furniture too, comfy and classy. That's Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway, Yankton.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout. Vermillion leads on the Masaba scoreboard 23-17 with 7:02 to go in the second quarter. Vermillion Tanager basketball is brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Coach Drake called a timeout, just didn't like the way the things started in that first minute. Vermillion has scored 1. Sturgis has scored 4 as they get it down low to Jensen on the block, and that's going to be another foul, I believe, on Schaefer's. We'll see. Nope, that foul is going to be on Gage West. Gage West with his first personal. So Luke Jensen with 2 free throws. First up is good, so he's now 2 for 3 from the line. So out there for Sturgis, you have Ryan Heinert, Gage West, Noah Schaefers. Luke Jensen's second free throw off the back iron, rebounded there by Schaefers. As Heinert down on the block, kicks it out. And that's a three-pointer for Gage West. And quickly that leads down to 4, 6:32 to go. As they kick it out to Carter Hansen. Hansen drives in, up with the right hand, and no good, but he is going to be fouled by, we'll see who he gets fouled by. Was it Schaefers? Is it Ferguson? It's going to be Ty Ferguson. Ferguson with his first. So Carter Hansen goes to the line to shoot 2. First free throw from Carter is up and good. So 25-20, Vermillion leads here in the second quarter over the Sturgis Scoopers. Second free throw from Carter, up and good as well. Carter now has 10 points. Ferguson gets the ball over to Wormstad. Wormstad down low to Heinert. Heinert guarded by Carter. Turnaround jumper. No good. That rebound is going to be off of Schaefers. And Sturgis fans a little irritated. I think they're just lucky a foul wasn't called. I think they give up the possession, not the foul, because he would have lost both then. So here's Trey Hansen driving in. Luke Jensen kicks it out to Cerny. Cerny kicks it back out to Jensen. Jensen cross-court pass to Carter Hansen. Hansen in with the floater, up, no good. Rebound there by Schaefers. Schaefers is a big body that changes the dynamics out there. And here's Ferguson over to Wormstad. Nice job by Luke Jensen. Quick hands, got the steal. So Vermillion up 26-20. Trey out to Cerny. Gabe Larson for 3. Yes, I told you Gabe was going to. Did I say Gabe was going to score? I did. I am prescient. 29-20. That lead is back up to 9 for the Tanagers with 5:20 to go. Wormstad brings the ball up, guarded by Gabe Larson, while Heinert did not move, and Gabe Larson hit the deck. But there was a nice shot by Wormstad, his first 2 points of the night. Here's Trey Hansen from the left side, driving in. No good, hits the bottom of the backboard. Rebound there by Heinert. Heinert brings it up, and he will pull it up. Get it over to Schaefers. Back to Heinert. Heinert will pull up for 3 off the back iron. Nice job by Schaefer's, but just the putback did not go. And Gabe Larson with the rebound. So 4:39 to go. Vermillion up by 7. Gabe Larson for another 3. Oh, off the back iron. Nice job by Jensen to save that, though. To Cerny. Cerny for 3. Off the back iron. Nice job by Hansen. Carter Hansen with the rebound. And they are going to call a foul as Gabe Larson was driving on the baseline. But Luke Jensen, he is showing some quickness tonight in a few different places. So nice job by Luke. Checking in for Sturgis, Hayden Rock and Dalen Deshock. Rock and Deshock. That sounds like a radio show. Or just Rock with Deshock. Something like that. All right, here's Carter Hansen driving in. Hits the bottom of the rim. He got way too far under the basket, unfortunately. As the foul was on Ferguson. And then there's 2 points for Deshock. So back down to a 5-point lead for the Tanagers. Trey Hansen, long 3. Nothing but net for Trey. His first Trey of the day. It rhymed. It went with his name. It's wordplay. I'm on. Ryan Heinert for a long 3. No good. Rebound, Luke Jensen gets it into Trey Hansen. Luke is all over tonight. Luke down low with the layup. Nice job and assist by Trey Hansen. And that is going to be a quick timeout called by Sturgis. We'll take a timeout as well as Vermillion leads 34-24 on the Masaba scoreboard. This timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family. From pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. The second of 5 games here in the auxiliary gym as Lennox beat Aberdeen Roncalli in the first. Here we've got a good one. Vermillion leads on the Masaba scoreboard with 3:32 to go in the second quarter, 34-24. It's ebbed and flowed, though. Sturgis got off to a good start, then Vermillion put the pedal to the metal, and then after it got to 10 points, they brought it back down to 4. It's back now up to 10. Every starter has scored for the Tanagers. And Gage West gets the ball over to Dalen Deshock for Sturgis. They get it down low to Wormstad. Turnaround jumper up and good. That was pretty. So here's Vermillion moving left to right. That's just the way Katie did it when she was in the paint. Turnaround jumper, fade away like that.
Absolutely. Just like that.
And here's Cerny kicking it out to Carter. Carter for 3. Drains it. Carter Hansen with a 3-pointer makes it an 11-point lead. This is the biggest lead of the game for the Tanagers with 2:56 to go in the second quarter. This Sturgis Scoopers team, though, they can score in bunches. And that boy is going to be off of Gage West. Trey Hansen tipped it, and West tried to save it and could not. So unfortunate turnover there for Sturgis as Jackson Cano checks in for Gage West. So it's Wormstad, Cano, Heinert, Deshock. And Trey is unable to connect on that one. So here's Hayden Rock. Over to Wormstad. Wormstad guarded by Cerny. Nice job by Landon there. Carter on Heinert, 24 on 24. As they get it down low to Cano. Everything's rhyming today. Heinert from the right-hand 3. No good. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. Hansen pushes the issue. Gets it off to Luke Jensen. Jensen will take a 3. Luke Jensen will make his first 3. Every starter has now hit a 3-pointer today as well. So 40-26, Vermillion with a 14-point lead with a minute 55 to go. As Wormstad drives in from the left side over to Heinert for a long 3. Just off the front iron. Rebound there by Landon Cerny, his first rebound of the game. Luke Jensen thought about the 3, kicks it over to Blanchett. Blanchett will take it. Nope, no good. as Blanchette came in for Gabe Larson. So 40-26, Vermillion leads with a minute 25 to go here in the second quarter. It's been a good game so far. Man, short little jumper, not a short little jumper, long jumper for Wormstadt. Wormstadt now has 8 points. Long three for Luke Jensen, short, no good, rebound, nope, ball out of bounds off of Carter Hansen. So Blanchette checks out, Gabe Larson checks in with a minute 5 to go. Vermillion with a 40-28 lead. They have outscored Sturgis 18-15 this quarter. And here's Cano on the right-hand side, gets it over to DeShock. They 49 seconds to go in the game, in the quarter. 31-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And, man, that is going to be Cerny's third foul. So Landon Cerny, the only Tanager to have committed any fouls, as Carson Preister checks in for Cerny. DeShock checks out. Schaefer's checks in, the 6'8 senior. So Hayden Rock brings it into Heinert right on the elbow. 11-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. As nice steal there by Carter Hansen, stuck out that left hand and was able to stop it. Now about a 2-second difference, so they'll probably play for close to the final shot here. Carter guarded by Heinert. So Trey and Carter out on the perimeter. Here's Gabe Larson on the left side. Out to Trey. Trey by midcourt. Trey at the elbow into the paint, pull-up jumper, and that will not fall. Gabe Larson with the rebound and the putback, no good. That is blocked, and that attempt by Sturgis is no good. And that's the way we're going to end this second quarter. The first half ends with Vermillion leading 40-28. We'll be back with our Fast Auto Glass halftime show after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters on the Mesaba scoreboard. Vermillion leads by 12. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home for your family, you want to sell your existing home, or you're a student looking to rent an apartment, Dakota Realty and Property Management can fit your needs. Being locally owned and with over 150 years of combined experience, they are the experts at helping you find your new home. Go to Dakota Realty and Property Management because they like what they do. Dakota Realty is a proud supporter of Vermillion Athletics. Dakota Realty and Property Management, located at 125 East Cherry Street, Vermillion.
Remember the Perks card from Pump and Pack? Well, guess what? There's an addition, not just a card, it's an app. The Pump and Perks app and the Pump and Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion. Just go to their Facebook page, Pump and Pack, and scan the QR code and you're in. Or go to the store, Pump and Pack, and get the card. Then download the app. Each one does the same thing. Like give you 5 cents off per gallon every day, except for Sunday, it's double with the Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer. Murph's Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag, I'm Michael Schumacher. Tanagers lead 40-28 on the Mesaba scoreboard here at the half. Our Fast Autoglass halftime show. Let's take the look at the stats. After one quarter of play, Vermillion led 22-13. They outscored Sturgis by 18-15 in that second quarter. Every starter has scored. Every starter has hit a three. Vermillion is being led in scoring by Carter Hansen with 13, Trey Hansen with 11, Luke Jensen with 7, Landon Cerny with 6, and Gabe Larson with 3. For Sturgis, well, they're being led by their captain, Ryan Heiner, with 8 points. 7 points for Hayden Rock. Then you have 6 points for Tegan Wormstadt, and 2 points both for Jackson Cano, as well as Dalen DeShock, and then Gage West off the bench with 3. So that's a look at how the scoring has broken down for this Tanager Boys team. Again, they're playing a AA Sturgis team. Unfortunately, Britton Heckler would have been their opponent. Britton Heckler at 7-5 on the season would have been worth more seed points. You know, not trying to belabor the point, but it is an odd circumstance that you play a team from a school that's bigger, but you don't get a benefit for doing that, and then actually get a little bit of a punishment because the team has a 4-6 record. You know, 4-6 at Class AA is probably more like a 6-5 or a 7-5 at A. Sturgis is not a bad team. You're seeing that here. So Vermillion hoping to get that win, get the 44 seed points, and position themselves. Right now they are in 16th in the state in Class A. They're in 4th in the region. And so Vermillion just looking to come away with the victory, and they're off to a good start here in the first half. And again, after this, we will travel to Huron to bring you the Tanager girls taking on Parkston. So when we come back, we're going to take a look around the state at action from around the state of South Dakota. Alongside Katie and Reigen, I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be back with more of our Fast Autoglass halftime show. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, baby, I got a great idea for your next commercial. You're in a jungle with a dinosaur, looking for an outlet for your vacuum.
A dinosaur? No, I said Intech has over 30 years of commercial cleaning. You know, like office buildings, ensuring happy visitors and a healthy workforce.
Commercial buildings? I think I can work with that, Jerry. I'm gonna make you a star.
Oh my goodness. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Mesaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at MesabaInc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Mesaba.
Mesaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. We are part of the Fast Autoglass halftime show. We're at the half. Vermillion leads 40-28 on the Mesaba scoreboard. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. Besides Vermillion and Sturgis, there were other games today coming up later. Pierre versus O'Gorman, Roosevelt versus Jefferson, T versus Lincoln, Stevens versus Central. In Class A, right now, Redfield defeated Canton earlier in the day, 56-41. Right now, South O'Brien out of Iowa defeated Lakota Tech at the Pentagon, 66-43. Lennox defeated Aberdeen Roncalli in this gym earlier, 57-47. With 3 minutes to go in the fourth, Sisseton leads Tri-Valley, 42-33. And then coming up later in Class A, St. Francis Indian and Kimball White Lake, Hill City and Alcester Hudson, Crow Creek and Dupree, Millbank and EPJ, Stanley County and Unity Christian. Dual will take on Dakota Valley. That should be a good matchup. That'll be here coming up later in the Madison. And then Madison taking on Webster area. Over in the auxiliary gym, McLaughlin and Todd County, Hamlin and West Central, Groton area and Del Rapids, Elkton Lake, Benton and Great Plains Lutheran, Miller and Wessington Springs, Clark Willow Lake and Sioux Falls Christian to cap off the night here. Platte, Geddes and Beresford, Hot Springs versus Lead Deadwood. And then in Class B, no score updates anywhere. Area games, if you're listening, Hill City will be taking on Alcester Hudson. Sioux Falls Lutheran versus Andes Central Dakota Christian. Bennett County is taking on Freeman Academy Marion. Wall and Lyman, Miller and Wessington Springs. And that is a look around the state for boys action. Our girls game will begin later, as we'll be doing that from up in Huron. And so we're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll be ready for tip-off as Vermillion leads 40-28 on the Mesaba scoreboard. This is the Fast Auto Glass Halftime Show, and this is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
At Voyage Federal Credit Union, we believe in giving back to the community that supports us. That's why our employees make it a priority to volunteer their time and talents to make a difference. Whether it's improving local causes, fighting hunger, or supporting our local zoo, our team is dedicated to making a positive impact in the lives of those around us. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a part of the community, working together to make it a better place for everyone. Your community, your credit union. Voyage Federal Credit Union.
Jordan Kirkman here from downtown Vermillion's American Family Insurance Office. We love being part of the community and want to help with your insurance needs. So stop in today and see me, Jordan Kirkman, sales specialist with Buchelman & Associates, located at 112 West Main Street, or call 605-624-2025. And if you're in Yankton, be sure to stop by our new office there as well. Go Tanagers and go Yotes.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. As we wrap up the Fast Auto Glass Halftime Show, the Tanagers lead at the half, 40-28 on the Mesaba scoreboard. Katie, what do we need to see here in this second half from Vermillion?
Well, I think if they just keep doing more of what they're doing, spreading the ball around evenly, everybody's getting some touches and get some scores, so that's good. And keep up the defense, the rebounding they're doing good on. They're not fouling the whole time, so that's good.
Well, and that's exactly right. They only have 3 fouls, and they're all on Landon Cerny. So if Landon would stop it, we'd be okay. But no, good defense, a lot of steals, a lot of creation of points. And so I think if they are able to keep that up, we'll see a successful game here in the second half for the Tanagers. All right, we're getting ready to inbound as we get started. Thank you for joining us for our Fast Auto Glass Halftime Show. Sturgis will begin with possession. The Central Farmers Cooperative starting lineup for the third quarter for Vermillion, same as the first and second quarters, as it's Trey Hansen, Carter Hansen, Landon Cerny, Luke Jensen, and Gabe Larson. And that was Jackson Cano with an easy 2, quick 2. And here's Gabe Larson for 3. Oh, off the back iron, rebound there by Dalen Deshock. So now that leads down to 10. Sturgis looking to get it down to single digits. That ball is into the middle. Rebound there by Landon Cerny. Or more of a steal, I guess. It's one of the two. I think it's more of a steal because it was a pass. And here's Luke Jensen out at the top of the key over to Carter. Carter drives in. Kicks it over to Cerny. Cerny will take that 3 on the baseline, and he will drain it. That is Landon Cerny's third 3 of the game. Change his name to Trey. 43-30, Vermillion leads. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Sturgis. And I think it's going to be on Hayden Rock. That'll be Rock's first. Rock's first, the team's first here in the third quarter. So 6:56 to go, 43-30, Vermillion with the lead. Trey Hansen brings the ball up over to Carter. Out there for Sturgis, it's Heinert, Wormstad, Cano, Deshock, and Heinert and Rock. And that ball is blocked into the hands of Rock over to Wormstad. Wormstad over to Heinert. Heinert with 8 points in the first quarter. Turnaround jumper, no good. Blocked there, actually, by Carter Hansen. Nice job by Carter. That defense you were talking about earlier there, Katie. And here's Carter. Baseline jumper, no good, but he is going to be fouled by Jackson Cano. That'll be Cano's first. Team's second. Now every player that is entered for Sturgis has a foul. Coach Dan Skinner is saying, hey, this happened down here. Why is it a foul down here but not there? Carter Hansen hits the free throw. But, when I say it on broadcast, people are like, no, Yeah, I don't think anyone ever thinks they actually commit a foul.
I never did.
I know, and neither did I. Carter hits both free throws. Carter now has 15 points on the game, 2.5 points over his average. Vermillion's lead up to 45-30, up to 15 as Max Vleem gets ready to check in. Here's DeShock, gets it down low to Wormstad. Turnaround jumper for Wormstad. He has a pretty turnaround jumper. He only averages 4.5 points per game, but he now has 8. And that shot in the paint, I'm surprised he only averages 4.5. Here's Carter Hansen driving in down the left side of the lane, kicks it out to Cerny, who will take that three. Ooh, just a little hard. Rebound Carter. There was only so much Carter could do. He was heading out of bounds, so that was a great attempt. But Sturgis with the ball. Rock gets it over to Heinert. Heinert for a long three, and he will drain it. He is not afraid to take the three. That's his first make of a three, though. Makes it 45-35 with 5:30 to go. He has a quick release. I mean, he doesn't feel the need to set up much. Sorry.
Yeah, Vermillion's going to have to be careful if he does get hot, because you can tell he's been trying to get a shot to drop, and if it starts dropping, they could be in big trouble here.
So that's going to be a foul on Heinert, though. That is his second personal. Checking out are Dalen DeShock and Jackson Cano. Checking in, Ty Petrocco and Max Vleem. So here's Carter Hansen. Long three for Carter, just off the back iron. Rebound there by Vleem. Vleem is 6'7". He didn't have to reach up too high for that one. Here's Hayden Rock, gets past Cerny into the paint, up with the right hand, and no good. Rebound there by Luke Jensen. And that's what we've been talking about. Vermillion getting some good rebounds on the defensive end. I'd like to see maybe one or two on the offensive side, getting some second chances at the points. But Vermillion with the 10-point lead. Carter Hansen up, leaves that short, and that is going to be out of bounds off of Vermillion. So with 4:47 to go, Vermillion leads by 10. Checking in is Gage West, the 6'2 sophomore. Checking out is Ryan Heinert. So that leaves Petrocco, West, Vleem, Rock, and Wormstad out there for Sturgis. So have you ever gone to Sturgis? Like to the rally?
No.
No? Here's Vleem for three. Oh, rolls in and out. Rebound by Carter. Carter gets it ahead to Gabe Larson. Oh, just out over his outstretched arms. Are you wanting to go to the Sturgis rally sometime?
I have had friends that go quite often, and they have good stories, and I just prefer to let them hear their stories.
That's kind of what I think, too. All right, here's a timeout taken by Vermillion. We'll take it as well. It's a Murph's Appliance timeout with Vermillion leading 45-35, 4.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. Coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout, Vermillion leads 45-35 with 4:26 to go in the third quarter. Sturgis has outscored Vermillion by 2. They've outscored them 7-5 in the first 3.5 minutes of the quarter number 3. So I think Coach Drake just wanted to settle his team down just a little bit. Here's Gage West getting the ball over to Carter Williams, who checked in during that break. Rock for three, no good. Rebound there by Trey Hansen. Hansen's 6th rebound of the game. Here's Carter over to Larson. Larson thought about taking the three. Cerny, he'll take the three. And he's feeling it. Landon Cerny with his 4th 3 of the game. He now has 12 points. So nice job by Landon. When Landon gets hot, Landon is hard to stop. Especially when you have Carter and Trey out there. That ball is going to be knocked out of bounds off of Carter Hansen. So Vermillion leading 48-35 now as Jackson Cano checks in. And Ryan Heinert checks in for Gage West and Carter Williams. So Tegan Wormstadt to inbound the ball for Sturgis. Gets it into Petrocco. Sturgis setting that offense. Oh, and that pass from Rock. Tried to hit a cutting Cano, but Cano was cutting one way, and Rock was expecting him to cut the other. So with 3.5 minutes to go, Vermillion will inbound. As Dalen DeShock checks in for Wormstadt. So Trey Hansen brings the ball up, gets it across midcourt. And here's Hansen in the corner. Loses the handle. Gets it off to Carter. Carter to Gabe Larson. Trey drives in, kicks it out to Cerny. Cerny for 3. Oh, just short. Rebound, Trey Hansen up and in for Trey Hansen. Hansen's first points of the 3rd quarter. Gives him 13 for the game. About 3 points below his average. Here's Heinert. He'll drive in on the right side of the lane. Oh, and they're going to call a foul on Trey Hansen, I believe. Trey with his first personal, team's first of the quarter, as Blanchette gets ready to check in for Gabe Larson. Vermillion with that 15-point lead, 50-35 on the Mesaba scoreboard. 2:49 to go in quarter number 3. And here's Petrocco for Sturgis as they get it to Cano, guarded by Blanchette. Heinert just off the block, guarded by Carter Hansen. Carter pokes it away, but into the hands of DeShock. And Ryan Heinert with a quick 3. No good, but the rebound into the hands of Trey Hansen. He now has 8 rebounds to go with his 13 points. Carter Hansen off the assist from his brother. Carter Hansen scores, and so makes it 52-35 with 2:23 to go. We have a full timeout. This one will be brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Vermillion leads by 17 with 2:23 to go on the Mesaba scoreboard. Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
For over 40 years, your local heating and cooling contractor has been Larry's Heating and Cooling. How did they stay in business that long? The customers know they stand behind their work. They offer top quality name brand equipment, and no one matches Larry's pricing when compared to the other local Lennox dealers based in Iowa. Larry's is $2,000 less for the same equipment. Not a Larry's customer? When you're ready to upgrade, trust Larry's. Honest prices, no gimmicks, and reliable service. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermillion.
At Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion, they believe a healthy smile opens doors. From routine checkups to cosmetic treatment, their friendly team is there to make your dental experience comfortable and enjoyable. With state-of-the-art technology and a compassionate approach, dentistry, and discover the difference your smile can make.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Coming out of that Murph's Appliance timeout, I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. As Sturgis inbounds, they trail 52-35 on the Mesaba scoreboard. It's Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. 2:17 to go. Vermillion with that 17-point lead. And that ball is dribbled off of Heinert's foot. And so Vermillion will take over. Sturgis had been, in the first 4 minutes, had outscored Vermillion. But Vermillion has really been able to come back. And now out there for the Tanagers, Carter and Trey Hansen, Luke Jensen, Landon Cerny, and Spencer Blanchette. Trey Hansen loops all the way around, lays it in. Boy, just left it short. Boy, Blanchette is all over Rock. Nice defense by Spencer. And they get the ball out to Wormstadt. Over to DeShock, who gets it to Rock. Right. So Heinert up top, guarded by Cerny. Looks to go left. And that is a steal by Luke Jensen. Created by Spencer Blanchette. And unsuccessful play there by Carter Hansen. And there's a long three by Rock, and he will drain it. Hayden Rock with his first three of the game. That gives him 10 points. And Carter Hansen over to Blanchette, over to Trade. Good ball moving as Jensen gets it just off the block. Tries to get it down to Carter. Carter loops it up. And they're going to call a foul. No, they're going to call it off the out of bounds. So that will be a turnover to Sturgis. I think Carter threw it up thinking he was going to get a foul call and ended up hitting the guide wire on the stanchion. And yeah, just... oh, nice job by Spencer creating more opportunities. Here's Cano. Even when Spencer's not on offensively, he is a great defender for these Tanagers. And here's Cerny with the block. And that ball is into the hands of Luke Jensen. Nice block there by Landon Cerny. And Katie says she wants Spencer Blanchette to start getting hot. Just so she can hear me say it.
I do.
I know.
Well, for him too.
I know.
When he gets going, he's fun to watch.
He really is. And he's such a great weapon out there. 2 seconds, long three by Trey. Oh, banks in and out. Wow, it does not get much closer than that. So that's the way the third quarter will end. 52-38. Vermillion again outscores Sturgis by 2. We'll be back after these messages with the fourth quarter. This is Tanager Basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USD. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That between quarters timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance. And the starting lineup, the Central Farmers Cooperative starting lineup for this quarter for Vermillion: Cerny, Hansen, Jensen, and Larson. Trey Hansen, turnaround jumper on the block, just short rebound there by Gage West. Wormstad over to West. Here's Heinert. Guarded by Carter Hansen. Hansen, the leading scorer for the Tanagers, with 17 today. There's Petrocco. And rebound there by Carter Hansen. 17 points now and 5 rebounds for Carter. I have not heard where Carter might be playing basketball at the next level, but I have to think he will be, or golfing, one of the two. I don't know if Mount Marty's taken a look at him, but they should if they haven't. And that ball will be out of bounds off of Carter. Hayden Rock knocked it into him, and Carter was unable to recover. So 56 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. No score update. It's still 52-38 in favor of the Tanagers. So here's Hayden Rock over to Tegan Wormstad. Wormstad pull-up jumper. Man, he has a nice shot. That's why I'm surprised. That's 10 points for him today. That's why I'm surprised he only averages 4.5, because that shot I'm seeing today is pretty from a lot of angles from that mid-range jumper. So maybe he's just hot. Maybe this is a one-off, but he looks good. Here's Luke Jensen. Jensen guarded by Rock, gets it over to Cerny. Long skip pass to Larson from Hansen. Here's Trey. Drives in, lays it in, and he is going to get the foul. So Trey Hansen with the and one opportunity. He now has 15. And that foul is going to be on Petrocco. So Hansen to shoot the old-fashioned three-point play and gets it. And this is going to be a timeout taken by Coach Jay Drake, so we'll take a timeout as well. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. On the Masaba scoreboard, 6:17 to go. Vermillion leads 55-40. We'll be back right after this.
The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance, alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. I'm Michael Schumacher here on ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 55-40 with 6:17 to go in the game. And leading scorer for the Tanagers, 17 points for Carter Hansen, 16 for Trey, and 12 for Landon Cerny. Luke Jensen with 7, and Gabe Larson with 3. So Sturgis moving left to right on your screen, or as we watch it. And Hayden Rock with the ball, guarded by Landon Cerny. And then after this, we will be heading to Huron. Unfortunately, I think that might have been new news to Reagan earlier. But yes, we are heading to Huron, but we'll buy our supper. We promise. And we'll bring you the girls' action as they take on Parkston from the Huron Arena. Here's Gage West. Over to Cano, and the rebound into the hands of Gabe Larson. So we'll take you back to ESPN Radio, and then we'll be hitting the road, and then we'll be coming back with Tanager girls basketball against the Parkston Trojans. So the Tanager girls look to continue the momentum that they've been gaining. And there's a steal by Ty Petrocco. So with 5.5 minutes to go, Vermillion still leads 55-40. Kind of a low-scoring quarter. And that pass is out of the hands of Ryan Heinert. So Landon Cerny will inbound the ball as Gage West checks out. It's now Rock, Heinert, Wormstadt, Cano, and Petrocco. For Sturgis, here's Cerny. As Luke Jensen trying to get position down on the block. Here's Larson. Over to Cerny. They get down to Jensen in the paint, and he is going to be fouled down there, and so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Jensen, like I said, with 7 points on the day, about 6 points below his average, 5.7. And so that'll be Petrocco's second personal. As Jensen will go to the line to shoot 2. Jensen's first free throw up and good. He has gone to the line twice before, hitting 1 of 2 both times. We'll see if he can break that pattern and go 2 for 2 this time. So right now 3 for 5. Free throw is up and good. So Luke Jensen now with 9 points on the day, 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Less than 5 minutes to go. Vermillion now has a 17-point lead. Petrocco gets it over to Heinert. Yes, Katie, you were right. I'm sorry. I forgot to mute you. Here's Heinert off the left side, drives in. They're going to call a foul on Carter on the floor. Does it make you feel good to hear me say that?
That I'm right? Yes. Yeah. That always is good to hear.
Okay. So that's a foul on Carter Hansen. That is his first. Wormstadt to inbound. Gets it into Heinert. Heinert back to Wormstadt. Heinert, boy, he thought about pulling the trigger. Drives in over to Wormstadt. Wormstadt from the baseline, up and in. Wormstadt, 12 points. That's about 7.5 above his average. So his average won't be that anymore because it'll be more, because that's how math works. Here's Trey Hansen. I know. Isn't that awesome? So every time I say it's above his average, it's above his average now or then. Gabe Larson for 3 from the corner. Oh, could not get it to fall. Rebound into the hands of Ryan Heinert. So Vermillion with the 15-point lead. 3:50 to go in quarter number 4 on the Masaba scoreboard. Again, as always, Tanager basketball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Wormstadt off on his 3, but a rebound by Trey. Trey with 9 rebounds. He's looking to have his second consecutive double-double. And I love saying double-double, by the way, so I hope he gets a double-double. Here's Carter Hansen at the top of the key. Over to Gabe Larson. Carter. Guarded by Cano. Gets it over to Trey. Trey drives in. Up and in for Trey Hansen. That gives him 18. And he's going for the and one, and that foul is going to be called on Jackson Cano. That's Cano's second. As Ty Ferguson, Max Vleem, and Carter Williams check in for Wormstadt, Heinert, and Rock. So Trey Hansen going to line to try to get his 20th point of the game. Oh, no, sorry, his 19th point. I apologize. You know why I messed up? I couldn't do math. That free throw is up and in. So Trey with 19 points on the day. Makes it 60-42. 18-point lead is the biggest for the Tanagers of the game. And here's Cano up and in. Cano now has 6 points. 3:06 to go. Vermillion up 60-44. Trey Hansen gets the ball over to Gabe Larson. Larson down on the block. Little jumper, no good. Rebound there by Carter Williams. And Ty Ferguson is unable to handle the pass. So Landon Cerny now to inbound for the Tanagers with 2:53 to go. So Vermillion with a nice, consistent, complete game. And if Coach Drake comes up afterwards, we'll talk to him about it. As Vermillion, after that Lennox loss, really has seemed to be very focused in each of their games that they've played since then. And this is just a continuation of that. Here's Carter Hansen at the top of the key from the inbounds pass from Trey. Again, Trey with 19 points and 9 rebounds. That used to be what Sharif Abdur-Rahim would average. I always liked that. I just like those numbers, 19 and 9. Just not gaudy, but really solid. So, all right, so Trey is going to get fouled there by Jackson Cano, and Katie's just shaking her head like, dude, what are you talking about? So Cano with his third personal. Trey Hansen go to line. This time he will be going for 20. And there we go. That is 20 for Trey. As Blanchette and Cade Roovers checks in. And Carson Preister checking in for Gabe Larson, Landon Cerny, and Luke Jensen. So Vermillion with a 17-point lead and 2:19 to go. I think both teams calling off the dogs here, as I did notice Greer Simon now out there for Sturgis, and Davin Ostby. So Davin Ostby and Greer Simon out there for the Scoopers. 2:14 to go. Vermillion with an 18-point lead. A steal there by Trey Hansen. Up and lays it in. So Trey now with 23 points. As looking to check in now for the Tanagers, you have Grant Rohrig and Tyson Hovden. So Hovden and Rohrig check in for Trey and Carter. So all of the starters are now out for the Tanagers, as Ostby will be checking it in for Vermillion, or for Sturgis. Osby gets that ball over to Ty Ferguson. Ferguson guarded by Spencer Blanchette. So all the scoring has been done for Vermillion by starters. So we'll see if maybe a reserve can get a point here or two in the last minute 43. And there's a rebound for Carson Preister, his second on the day. And here's Spencer Blanchette. See if Katie can get her wish and get Spencer scoring. Hovden for three. No good. Rebound by Preister, his third of the game. Blanchette drives in. Oh, and he thought he was hitting a cutting Rorigs, and just a little miscommunication. So with a minute 18 to go, Vermillion will win. They're up 20, 64-44. They'll move to 11-3 on the season. They'll get the 44 seed points. Sturgis will fall to 4-7. That pass to Carter Williams. He's able to recover. Gets it down to Vleem. Vleem off the block. And here is Carter Williams. Over to Ferguson, into the paint, up with the right hand, and that will drop for Williams. Williams' first 2 points of the game. So 44 seconds to go, 15 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Preister bringing it back around to the top of the key. Over to Hovden, over to Blanchette. Roovers down on the block. Out to Rorigs. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Over to Blanchette. Here's Preister. 23 seconds to go. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Blanchette. Nothing but net. 3 points for Spencer. See, Katie's super happy over here, aren't you?
That's right. I sure am.
You can hear it in her voice. Giddiness abound. 10 seconds to go. And Williams is going to be fouled on the shot. Or Ferguson's going to be fouled on the shot by Preister. Nope, by Spencer Blanchette, and so Ty Fergus will go to the line to shoot two. Yeah, she can't contain her excitement over there.
It's this cold. It's got me down.
Uh-huh. And Ferguson's first free throw is up and hits the back iron. So again, Vermillion, they have a big week ahead of them as well. Second free throw is up and good for Ferguson. So, the final 5 seconds, Vermillion will dribble it out, and we will have our First Dakota National Bank postgame show. After this, Vermillion wins on the Mesaba scoreboard, 67-47. Tanagers will move on to their next week's games, and we'll discuss that when we come back. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher alongside Katie and Reigen Lewedag. We'll be back right after this on ESPN Radio and Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
So as you can see on the screen, Carter Hansen is the player of the game. Carter Hansen is the player of the game for the Tanagers. Carter Hansen, just a nice all-around game. Had 17 points. He had 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He had a block. He had a couple of assists, and just great all-around defense. So nice job by Carter Hansen. Again, we wanted to come back for that, but we'll be back with the rest of our post-game show after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. This is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
I'm I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainsbodyshop.com.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion. Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete, and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. My name is Michael Schumacher, alongside Katie Reigen Lewedag, as the Vermillion Tanagers defeat the Sturgis Scoopers 67-47. A nice, consistent victory. As on your screen, you are seeing the teams preparing for the next game. As I did have that here, yes, and that will be Dakota Valley and Dual. Dakota Valley. Vermillion will be playing them in a couple of weeks. And so let's take a look at the stats, though, for Vermillion. They were led in scoring by Trey Hansen with 23 points, Carter Hansen with 17, Landon Cerny with 12 to round out the players in double figures, and then 9 for Luke Jensen, and 3 for Gabe Larson, and 3 for Spencer Blanchett. For Sturgis, well, they were led in scoring by Tegan Wormstadt with 12. You had Ryan Heinert with 11, Hayden Rock with 10, almost 7 points below his average. And then 6 points for Jackson Cano, and 3 for both Gage West and Ty Ferguson, and then 2 points for Dalen Deshock. So Vermillion got out to a 22-13 lead after one quarter, led by 12 at the half, led by 14 after 3, and then just pulled away in the fourth quarter to eventually win by 20. So a nice win for the Tanagers, just another complete game victory. And so for the Tanagers, like we said, it's been kind of the story of theirs since that loss to Lennox, that Vermillion has really been playing some all-around basketball. And Katie, you've been in attendance for a number of those games, and then I think you've watched others. What are your thoughts on these Tanager boys, especially since that Lennox loss?
Oh, I think they've done a really good job. They haven't been fouling a lot. They've been playing composed and calm. It doesn't seem like they're... Look, a couple times, getting a little hurried, but coach brings them back down. They've been doing a good job at distributing the ball to all the different players, and I think they're doing a great job. They got their head in the game, for sure.
It does really feel like there's a renewed focus. And I've said it before, but I think they play from buzzer to buzzer. And I think they've learned their lessons from their 3 losses. Their 3 losses have been to West Central, which they kind of learned, okay, you can't ever take it for granted in those last few minutes. Anything that could go wrong did, anything that could go right for West Central did. That loss to Lennox, you know what, that was a big, and I think that hurt them. And so then, but then they've been on a really nice run since then, and we do have Coach Drake with us here. Coach, another nice victory.
Yeah, good win for us. We talked about it all week. 3 games now, and we've got 4 in 8 days with Beersford on Tuesday, but our group, I think the last 2 weeks, starting with that EPJ game, just the approach they've had towards the games, the way we've kind of handled our business, not just in games, but practice-wise, our group's pretty focused right now, and it's nice to see, and we just got to try to keep building confidence and moving forward.
Well, and that's what we were kind of talking about over the last few weeks since that Lennox game. Just a lot of focus. One loss in there to Sioux Falls Christian, who is undefeated. They'll be playing later today. So a great team, but not a game that had ever got out of hand, that had ever felt like, okay, they're feeling overwhelmed. Here, just one of those where you love to see you guys got out to a good start, and you just kept your foot on the gas. It was, up by 8, up by 12, up, just slowly increasing that lead, and it was everybody. Landon Cerny from the outside, Gabe Larson just kind of filling in here and there. Luke Jensen, Carter Hansen player of the game. I wanted to talk about Luke for a second, though. Showed, more quickness than I've seen out there. A couple of steals. There was a play that I don't even know if it's going to go, if it gets in the books as anything.
His layup down here?
His layup down here, and then he saved a ball from going out of bounds. Just the activity level of Luke seemed to be taken to the next level today.
Yeah, it's nice, and he's capable of doing that, and he's played with a lot of confidence all year and gained confidence as the year's gone on as well. And and it's kind of like we've told our guys, we're playing basically 7 in our rotation right now. And you never know what you're going to get for minutes each night, but everyone's got to do their part. When we have everyone, you're not always going to play your best basketball game, but we've got to have guys chipping in, and we go back to the game against Lennox. The reality of it, and we talked to our team about it, is when we left that night and talked about it the next day at practice, the 7 guys that played that night, usually after a basketball game as a coaching staff, we talk and you can say, well, these 4 played pretty solid tonight. This kid maybe struggled a little bit. But if we're going to go nights where we have nobody do anything, and that's kind of, and it's nothing against, we just ran into one of those nights that everyone struggled. But when we have everyone kind of doing their part on both ends of the floor, chipping in and just being solid and disciplined and fundamentally sound, we can be a pretty good basketball team. And give Sturgis a lot of credit. They're an athletic team. They're a scary team. A couple times we'd get up 10-12, and it's they'd come right back on us. Second quarter, I think they cut it to 4 at one point, but our guys kind of just kept the foot on the gas, and it's not easy for them. They played last night against Red Cloud and have to drive all across the state, and this is a game they didn't know they were going to have until last Sunday, but it was a 20th game for them. The other side of that, we told our guys, is we had to look at it from the standpoint of they're also probably not accepting or taking this game if they don't think they can come over here and beat somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're playing on a Friday night and you turn around on a Saturday afternoon, go across the state, they're probably figuring they got a Class A team that they can go get and maybe get a lot of power points from their standpoint. And our guys just competed, battled, played hard, and it's a good victory for us.
It really was, and like we said, everybody contributed. Carter Hansen getting the player of the game, and he just had both he and Trey had really nice all-around games. Carter had that moment in the first quarter before Sturgis took a timeout where he got a steal down on the one end, turned it into points, got another steal, and turned it into points. All of a sudden, 2 steals, 4 points in a matter of like 10 seconds.
Right, and we had a number of guys that played really well, like you said today, and I think they made a good decision on that one, just from the standpoint of Carter did a good job offensively, but we're always asking him, right? He's guarding the Heinert kid who went over 1,000 points this year, and it's a really tough matchup, and he takes that responsibility, and I thought he did a really good job on Heinert, especially to start the game, just making things hard on him, and then to give us what he did on the offensive end as well was huge, and a nice honor for him here as a senior too, as the player of the game.
Well, and Heinert shows no fear in pulling a quick shot. I mean, he has a quick shot from 3, these turnarounds, and he will work it down low too, where he never gives up on the shot. And so to take care of him defensively and hold him a couple points below his average is yeoman's work. And so, yeah, that was something that they obviously took into consideration. Well, now, you turn the page, and Tuesday you have a road game in Beersford, and then Friday, home game at the Birdcage with Groton. So what's kind of the game plan this week?
Yeah, obviously with the 3 games in 5 days here, we'll probably watch half of this game with Dakota Valley. It's nice to be able to get home at a decent time here, late afternoon, and our guys need to just get their bodies back, get some rest tomorrow, and obviously we'll game plan and prep for Beersford with our practice Monday. But I think I kind of told you after the Dale Rapids game, we know we're in a kind of a battle here with Lennox and DB, and we all think we're pretty good basketball teams, and I think we are, and we're all probably top 10 caliber teams in our class, and yet someone's going to be that 4 seed, and that's a spot I think none of us want to be in, and it's a battle, and we just got to try to do our part each game, and we did that the other night against Dells, which makes this one today a very big game for us, and now we took care of kind of the next task at hand, and that makes the Beersford one huge. And sounds cliche, 1 game at a time, but really with our situation where we're at and where we're battling for the PowerPoints, if one of these nights we don't do our job, it's going to hurt us anyway, so you just got to go out, compete, and the way our guys have played the last 2 weeks and the last 5 games and the focus and just being locked in mentally and the approach they've had to games, if we can keep that going, we figure if we play well any night, we'll at least give ourselves a fighting chance.
Well, and that is exactly right. You keep winning. You guys still essentially control your destiny for that, and everybody's stepping up the way they have been. It's really been something to see, and they have to be gaining some confidence each game in and game out, and so it's been fun to see that, and we'll be back at it on Tuesday in Beersford. But Coach, thank you so much for stopping up here. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on the win, and safe travels home.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael, and you're probably heading right over to Huron now, right?
We are.
All right. Good luck to those girls.
Yeah, thank you.
Right,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, as Coach mentioned, we will be heading to Huron, so we're going to cut this just a little bit short. We'll do a full postgame after the girls' game, but for Katie, do you have anything to add?
I don't.
You don't? You always have stuff to say.
No. Nope, I'm just excited to go see the girls play.
All right, sounds good. Well, that'll be coming up at around 6:30, Parkston and Vermillion from the Huron Arena. And so we're going to get up there and see where we can get set up and do all of that. But thank you so much for joining us. For Katie and Reigen, I'm Michael Schumacher. This has been Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion wins 67-47. We will talk to you again in a few hours. But this is Tanager Basketball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank on ESPN Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermillion and Yankton. And you guys have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you this evening.